Hi everyone, welcome back to Movie Make It. I'm Miss Julia, and today we're going to be making our Mushu dragon blowers from Mulan. For this project, you'll need a few things from home. You'll want a pair of scissors, a toilet paper tube roll, and you might want some tape. If you don't have tape, that's okay. You'll be able to use your glue dots from inside your kit. And then from in your kit, you'll want your glue dots, your red pom-poms, 2 of your googly eyes, your yellow pipe cleaner, and your red, orange, yellow tissue paper, whichever ones came in your kit, and your red piece of construction paper. You can pause the video here and go gather your supplies. Now that you've had a chance to gather your supplies, I'm going to move some things out of the way. I'm going to start by taking my toilet paper tube and wrapping it in my red construction paper. So I'm going to use my tape, but you can also use your glue dots if you don't have tape at home. So for the glue dots, you'd put a glue dot at the edge of your paper instead of using a piece of tape. I'm going to use a piece of tape here and tape the edge of my paper onto my toilet paper tube roll. This is going to help me so I can measure how much paper I need to cover my toilet paper tube roll. I think I'm going to use one more so I can make sure that it's nice and tight up here to the edge where I'm going to cut. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of tape here. I'm going to put it on the side on my table so I don't have to try to get it later when my hands are holding everything together. So the next thing I'm going to do is gently roll my toilet paper tube so that I can see where my paper will start to overlap. Do you see how it's overlapping? Here's one edge, and this part of the paper is going over the top of it. That's exactly what I want. I'm going to use my scissors and cut my paper so I have a little bit of an overlap. It's okay if your line isn't straight, as long as your toilet paper tube roll gets most of the way covered. And then I'm going to take, not my tape, my scissors, and I'm going to cut this part of my paper too. What I think I'm going to do to help me measure it is I'm going to roll up my toilet paper tube and use my scissors and cut right here where I'm touching the toilet paper tube with the end of my scissors. And I'll cut a little bit and I'll gently unroll my toilet paper tube. You can see how I'm using the toilet paper tube roll as a guide for my scissors. And then I can save this paper to do a different project with. Then I can roll up the rest of my toilet paper tube roll in my red paper, and I'm going to grab that piece of tape from before and stick it on. And then I'll use just a little bit more tape and do the edges so that everything is nice and stuck down. If you were using your glue dots, you would put your glue dots underneath here to hold the paper down and onto the toilet paper tube roll. I'm also going to take just a few other little pieces of tape and put them kind of across from my first one, just to help keep everything nice and secure on there. There we go. So now I have a red toilet paper tube roll, and this is what I'm going to use to make Mushu's face. So this will be kind of his snout area, And one area here will be the opening for his mouth, and the other area will be where I can blow in to make my blower effect. So the next thing I'm going to do is add on the decorations to make it look more like Mushu. So I'll grab my pom-poms and my eyeballs and my glue dots. So I have 2 big red pom-poms and 2 little red pom-poms. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a glue dot, and I am going to stick a glue dot onto the back of a googly eye, and then stick the googly eye onto one of my big pom-poms. I'll do the same thing for my second googly eye. There we go. And then I'm going to take another glue dot, and I'm going to use it to stick my pom-pom eyeballs onto my toilet paper tube roll. So I'm going to put it near one of the ends, and I'm using it also, this piece of tape, to help me space things out. So there's one. You can see how there's one eyeball. Grab another glue dot. Do the same thing on the other side. And there's my other eyeball. So there's the first part. And then these two are to make Mushu's nostrils, or the little bits at the end of his nose. So I'll take a glue dot, stick that, and then go ahead and stick his little nostril on, and then one more. Glue dot, and whoop, Pom-Pom was escaping. There's the other one. So now you can see how this is like Mushu's face. It's got his eyes and his nose over here. The next thing I'm going to do is take my yellow pipe cleaner to make his little sort of mustache thing. So I'm going to fold it in half and use my scissors to cut it into 2 equal parts. If you have trouble cutting your pipe cleaner, you can ask your grown-up to help. The first thing I'm going to do is on one end of each of my 2 halves, I'm going to gently roll up my pipe cleaner just a little bit so that I have something that I can use to help stick it so that it has a spot for the glue dot to hold on to. So I'll do that to both of these. And then, if you remember in the movie, Mushu's little mustache is kind of all squiggly. So you can use your fingers and just bend your pipe cleaner however you think would look good for Mushu's mustache. You could make yours more curvy. I'm making mine a little more like mountain peaks, but you can do yours however you want. And then I'm going to use my glue dots again and stick on my little mustache bits. Have you seen the movie Mulan? I really enjoyed that movie when I was growing up. I think Mushu, or maybe the horse, are some of my favorite characters. I also really like the ending, but I won't spoil that for you in case you haven't seen it yet. So there are Mushu's little mustache bits. And once you get them on, if you feel like they don't look quite right, you can always rebend your pipe cleaner a little bit. So the last thing that we're going to do is use our tissue paper and make some little flames to come out of his mouth. So I'll grab my tissue paper. I'm going to set Mushu off to the side here. And what I'm going to do is use my scissors and cut some little strips. Yours can either be long or short, however much you want it to look kind of like fire. So if you want long fires, you could cut longer strips or cut shorter strips for shorter fires. I guess flames. Flames is the word that I need. So Longer strips for longer flames, shorter strips for shorter flames. Did you have a favorite part of Mulan? So after you get all of your little flame strips cut out, we're going to add them inside of his mouth right here. So I'll kind of stand him upright so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take little pieces of tape. And if you are using your glue dots, you can take little bits of glue dot and stick them around the edge and then just stick your paper to them. Otherwise, you can take a piece of tape and put it on the end like this and then stick it inside. And the goal is we want to go all the way around so that when we blow through the other part of his head, that it'll look like he's breathing out fire. But it will just be tissue paper, not real fire. So it'll look cool, but it will be safe. You can do yours in whatever order you want. And if you want to just make one color of flames, that's cool too. It's your Mushu, so you can do it how you would like. I think that needs a little more tape on that one. There we go. I'm happy with how mine looks like this, but you can always add more so that it looks like the flames are bigger on yours. So there is our finished Mushu blower. Then what you can do is carefully put your mouth by this side of your Mushu blower and blow. Then it will look like the flames are moving. That looks pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoy making your very own Mushu blower, and I hope you've enjoyed doing this project. And remember, if your grown-up says it's okay, you can post a picture of your Mushu blower or any of the other crafts you've made in the classroom. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!